My name is Nikki, and I am a mother of two and a former high school English teacher and track coach of 9 years. And now I'm just really enjoying working from home and helping people find health and reach their goals. Now, a few years ago, I watched an acquaintance on Facebook get amazing results, and I was curious, but honestly, I was really skeptical. But eventually, I reached out to her because I knew that our family needed to make some changes. So maybe you're where I was. Maybe you have a friend who got results. Maybe you're just a little curious. Maybe you're skeptical, or maybe you're watching this just to get a friend off your back. Um, I'm going to share my story with you in a few minutes, but right now, I just want to tell you that this is about you. And I want to ask you right now, where you are, where you want to be, and most of all, why you want to be there. Because I can tell you that this offers so much value in many different areas of your life. And I just ask that you open your heart and your mind to the possibility that this may help you get where you want to go, like it did for so many of us. And at the very least, be thankful to the person who invited you tonight, because they had an amazing transformation in some area of their life, and they just want to share it with you, and they really care about you. So right now I'm going to share my screen with you and do a little presentation. Okay, so again, thanks for checking us out. And we really just want to take some time to share our stories with you and hopefully give you some hope and inspiration. We're going to hear from a very special person live in a little bit, and hopefully we'll get your questions answered. So this is my family 5 years ago, and we were in a pretty bad place in many ways. I was dealing with chronic back pain, lack of energy, brain fog, pretty big cravings at night once I put the kids to bed, and just feelings of kind of sadness. Our daughter had these strange rashes since birth that no one could explain. And we were soon to find out that, our son had a heart issue. So the scariest part of all, though, was my husband's sudden diagnosis of heart failure from a virus that attacked his heart, they believe. It left him with 10% function. And we were told that his condition is usually found with an autopsy after it's too late. So, we considered ourselves lucky, but those next 3 months, we really had a lot of fear, and we saw no improvement with his heart function despite medication and the recommended heart healthy diet, and finally a pacemaker. So it was the scariest time of our lives, but in retrospect, it was also the biggest gift. Spiritually, we grew a lot, and we also learned that we began to find the need to educate ourselves and make changes and open up to the idea that nutrition could heal. So fast forward 2 years after that, we realized that we still weren't our best, and we knew that there had to be more. All we were doing wasn't enough. My pain was still there. Our daughter's rashes were still there. We were tired all the time. So my friend Patty introduced me to this. I tried it. My husband and kids followed suit, and we've never looked back. And I'm just so thankful for this gift and for Patty's willingness to share it with me. And that's why I'm here sharing it with you now. So I wanted to introduce you to a couple people and just share a little bit of their stories. This is Cindy, and I got to know Cindy through my husband. They both went to the same college that we went to. So Cindy and her husband, Chris, asked us what we were doing. Actually on the golf course, our husbands talked, and he told them. They gave it a try. Cindy had been struggling with 20 pounds after having her son, and 2 years ago, when they asked and we told them they tried it, she lost 20 pounds that she hadn't been able to do. And what really excited her was the energy she got back and the confidence and the fact that it's easy. She's been able to maintain it this whole time. So that's very exciting. The next person is Mark. And Mark is one of our young START group members from California. And he realized that, he was feeling older than he should have, and he was frustrated. He went to Rome and he saw all these neat fashions and he couldn't fit into them, but he decided to buy some things anyway. He just had this feeling that he needed a change and something was going to help him make that change. So his friend Brandon introduced him to this, and now he's carrying 40 pounds less fat And he's added, last I heard, 10 pounds of muscle. It might be more than that, and up to 250 push-ups, I think, a day. So he's inspiring others with this vision of hope. And he's also really excited because he spends a lot less money on his breakfast than he used to. So now it's back to you. What areas of your life could stand some improvement? And really think about it. If you could improve some aspect and reach some goals, what would they be? Where would you see yourself in, say, 6 months or 2 years? And if it's weight loss, weight's just a number. Why? Why do you want to lose 10, 20, or 100 pounds? What would that mean to you? Maybe it's getting into a favorite outfit, but maybe it's so you can play with your kids or play with your grandkids someday. Maybe you want to feel less pain in your joints. Maybe you just want confidence again. Maybe weight isn't your issue, and that's okay too. How's your energy? I remember drinking so much coffee when I taught that I literally could not function without it. And the afternoon slump, yeah, that was just terrible. Maybe you exercise and you're just not seeing the gains for all the time you put in at the gym. Maybe you need to refuel properly and get enough quality protein or work on your pre-workout regimen. Maybe you're just feeling older than you know you should feel, and you want to slow down that process. A lot of us have watched loved ones suffer from disease, and we want to be proactive and not so dependent on medication. Maybe it's your sleep or your gut, or you just want to help your family get healthy. Maybe you're looking for a vehicle to ease some financial stress or get your groceries paid for. Again, just take a minute and picture your ideal situation. Sometimes we get stuck in this whole business of life and we forget to think about how we should feel. We think it's just the way it is and we adjust. I remember when my doctor told me that my lack of energy and my mental fog was just my normal. It was my age, but I just thank God I didn't believe her. So what is stopping us from feeling our best? Why are so many people sick and tired and overweight? Why aren't our bodies reflections of health? Well, it turns out it's not all our fault. We do have challenges that we didn't have 70 years ago, like toxicity and mineral depletion. Our schedules are busy, and it makes nutrient balance difficult. And even those who try to do the right things often lack support and motivation. They may even think they're eating great. That's where we were, but it wasn't enough because I didn't know what I didn't know. Some people just work out harder, but that's not enough. We went to the gym for years and my husband still couldn't shake his spare tire. But now we understand toxicity. Our bodies were designed with organs to detoxify, a liver, colon, skin, lymphatic system, but never were they meant to handle the load our world is throwing at it. From the air we breathe, to the food we eat, to the chemicals we use to clean our houses and what we put on our skin, our bodies are challenged. They're in overload. So fat goes to the only place it can, the toxins go to the only place they can, and that's our fat. So toxins are in our food. They're overuse of pesticides and herbicides. They leave our produce toxic and nutritionally bankrupt. Our dairy and meat has traces of whatever that animal has eaten. And cows used to eat grass. They used to be milked in season. Now they eat genetically modified corn and other things, and they take in hormones so that they can produce more milk. And they have antibiotics injected into them so they can stay healthy. Our bodies are taking all of that in. And again, what can't be handled just goes to our fat. Now, we all come from different places, and I am not the perfect eater. We still order our pizza. We're because my husband insists on it. But some of us are very clean eaters. No matter where you are, I'm sure most of us enjoy the holidays. But what I found is that knowing what is healthy and what isn't, and making a conscious decision, that's what's key. And what I learned and found personally is that our cravings are out of control for a reason, and that we can change. When I started fueling my body with what it needed, I didn't crave the bad. It actually wasn't as appealing as my body became more alkaline. The sweet and salty tasted too sweet and salty. So the truth is that most people are nutritionally deficient, and our cravings are our brain's way of telling us that, our body is missing nutrients. Several studies have been done that show that our produce is nutritionally bankrupt. Here's just one, and this particular one was done by UCLA. Several women who ate a lot of spinach were found to be anemic, which shouldn't have been the case. But ultimately, it was discovered that the spinach in 1997 was depleted in several different minerals, iron being one of them. And 43 bowls of spinach totaled the amount of iron in just one bowl in 1953. So our bodies need 90 nutrients, 60 of them are minerals. And again, all this really means is that it's harder to get what we need today. So we have all this knowledge. Okay, where do we go from here? It's been a cycle, sugar-free, low carb, low fat. That was all found to be wrong because our bodies do need carbs and good fats. Our brains need them. What I felt when I learned this stuff is that I felt overwhelmed. I didn't know where to start. So we did begin 5 years ago with my husband's health issue, and we made changes. We added in juicing, for an example, and for a year we juiced, and it was good. But when I looked at all the money I spent on organic produce, because if you juice non-organic, you're just concentrating those toxins. Well, it was expensive. It was time-consuming. And now I get what I need for a fraction of the cost, and it can be grab and go and no cleanup. I still have my juicer, but it's in my attic right now. So what we have found is isogenics, which helps us to address the two big issues of nutrient depletion and toxicity. And it just basically helps us reach our goals, in a more economical and efficient way. Now, what we're talking about tonight, it's just food. It hasn't been evaluated by the FDA, and our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. But the body is a miracle, and when it's fed and treated right, some pretty amazing things can happen. And on that note, I would like to introduce you to Amy Grimm. She is my cousin and a former elementary teacher who got amazing results along with her husband, Theron. Amy ate organic before I knew what organic was, and she watched us and her sister-in-law, Elena, for over a year before finally trying this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get Amy on the line here. Okay, sorry about that.
Hey.
Okay, so Amy, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing with us first, where you were before Isogenics, how you felt, and what this has done for you.
Sure. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm really excited to share my story and our experiences. Before Isogenics, I was exhausted. Every afternoon from about 1 o'clock on, I was just living in a fog, couldn't snap out of it, just struggling to kind of get through the day. Through the years, I have had a ton of GI trouble of all sorts, often had pain in my head, felt flabby, felt bloated, and was stressed about money. After watching you guys and Elena and hearing about your energy and your experiences, I decided that something needed to change because I've always been a healthful person. I was exercising regularly, doing everything that I thought was right, and still feeling so crummy. So, I decided to just give it a shot, and I'm glad that I did because everything's changed for our whole family. And now I have the energy to get through the day, through my crazy schedule, the kids' crazy schedules, my husband's work schedule. I'm no longer ready to crawl into bed at 8:30 at night, right after my kids go to bed, which is exciting because I'm a grown up and it's nice to stay up a little bit longer than them. So that's been fun. And I have built lean muscle. The bloat is gone. The GI trouble is gone. And the pain in my head is gone as well. And I didn't really go into this for weight loss, but what ended up happening was that I did lose about 8 pounds, 16 inches, which was mostly in my belly, my butt, and my thighs, which was very welcome. I was very excited about. So, health-wise, it's been incredible for me. And then also being able to build a solid 5-figure passive revenue and, continuing to work on that. I kind of have given up on the going to work thing. I don't like to be away from my family so much. And, the financial stress of living off of one salary is gone, and just knowing that I'm able to contribute and know that so many families go through this has been just a big relief. And it feels so good, and I just can't help but share it with people, and in the hopes that it can help somebody else too. So it's been a great year.
It's great. Yeah, well, thanks for sharing your story, Amy. And I'm also going to ask you if you would share a little bit about your husband, Theron, because I know a big part of you jumping into this was for him.
Yeah. So, I had my reasons for doing it, and also in my back pocket kind of was hoping he would jump on board too. And he really I was skeptical about this whole thing, and he was even more skeptical. So for whatever reason, he was just ready to try something new. He said, "Yep, I'll do it with you." And before that point had come, he was struggling. He was working a ton. He still works a ton, but he had a lot of inflammation, especially in his knees, that was preventing him from really doing the workouts that he wanted. And so fast forward through the last year, he's lost 40 pounds. The inflammation's gone. He's run in races and 5Ks and things. He's just, he's about to sign up for his first triathlon, which I could have never anticipated happening. And he's become a role model for our kids. He's showing them, what a healthy lifestyle is. And he's even told me that next month he wants to buy a whole new wardrobe, which is really exciting because his clothes are really big on him and kind of outdated. So looking forward to a shopping trip. And, the other part of this, yes, he's had a physical transformation, but the other part that kind of gets me is his emotional transformation, that he does things now that maybe he wouldn't have done before. So one day last winter, he I guess was upstairs with our kids, and our daughter Maggie came downstairs and said, "Oh, Daddy did a cartwheel." And I kind of blew her off. I thought she was lying, and asked him about it later that night. And he, I said, "Why would Maggie lie about that? Like, where would this child make up this story? For what reason?" And he said, "Well, because I did one." And I just kind of looked at him funny. And then he did one across the kitchen. So anybody that knows Theron knows he's not a cartwheeling kind of a guy typically. And to see him do something like that was just, beyond anything, and just not typical of him. So for me, it's the peace of mind knowing that he's getting the health that he needs. He's taking his health seriously. He really wants to be around for us for a long time. And when he travels, he's got great options to grab and go. And for the kids as well. The kids use drink the shakes and use the vitamins and all these other things. And I know that they're now getting what they need, and that our food is depleted. So nutritionally. So it's been, incredible. And I can't thank you enough for sharing this with us, really.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Amy. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, your story is pretty amazing. And I just have one picture I'm going to show of Theron. So yeah, Amy is exactly right. When I saw him after his initial, what's called a 30-day reset, he was smiling. I've never seen him smile. He's a man of few words, and I love how this does change you on the outside, but more importantly, it gives people back a sense of themselves that oftentimes was lost along the way. So you've heard some stories now, but you're probably wondering, well, what is it? What is this thing? Well, it's not a diet. It's about bringing the body into balance. I already said before, we all eat things in moderation. Some of us are cleaner eaters than others, but it's not a diet because you're not depriving yourself of any one thing. You're just giving your body what it needs so it can better handle those other things that you're going to have on occasion. It's a protein-based, mineral-rich, nutrient-dense superfood, and it does combine nutritional cleansing technology with targeted essential nutrition, and it just feeds the body on a cellular level. No compromised products, nothing artificial, non-GMO, no soy, no gluten, and it's 99% lactose free. And sometimes people still can't do dairy. Oftentimes people do okay with it, but we do have vegan options as well. And I know, I was like, well, there are so many different products out there. What makes this different or better? Well, what people find with this is noticeable results quickly. Many diets involve restricting your calories. And when you do that, oftentimes you lose bone density and you lose muscle mass. But that's not the case with this. It's not a poopy cleanse. There is a cleanse component, which we can get into at another time, but it's a cellular cleanse where toxins are actually released from your body. It's not a diet. You're not, like I said, you're not depriving yourself. And the other thing, my husband, like Theron, is always on the go. He does not like to eat healthy, but he loves this because it's his easy, accessible nutrition. Another thing that makes this different is the community. You know, we have an amazing support system. When you buy a product off the shelf, you get that product and maybe some directions on the bottle. But here, you know, you get me. And, you know, when Amy started, she got a whole team of people, you know, her sister-in-law and myself. And when Mark, who you saw, signed up, you know, he had his friend Brandon and the whole team. You get a team of people that want to help you reach your goals. We work out a plan with you. We work closely with you along your journey. You know, we plan ahead and troubleshoot. We have many different Facebook opportunities for people who you know, want to get involved in a group in that sense. And locally, we have get-togethers, we prep meals, we have cooking demos. We have people all across the country, and actually the world, but you know, in certain areas, people are doing Wellness Wednesdays. I know Mark does Wellness Wednesdays out in California. We share recipes. Again, we have a community of people from all walks of life, but they share a common goal of getting healthier and having fun while doing it. Another big one is that it's scientifically based and it's proven. You know, you will not see ads on television for it, and you can't buy it off a shelf somewhere. That's intentional. John Anderson and the Coovers, they wanted this to be a belly-to-belly business of helping others. And they wanted it to be a company that always was striving to keep up with the latest research. There's third-party testing. I mean, that is unheard of. So just because you won't see ads on TV and there are no endorsements, that doesn't mean that amazing athletes aren't using the products, because they are. But the company never pays them a dime, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, and back to the science. This study was done by the University of Illinois, and it's an independent study. It compared the isogenic system to the leading doctor-recommended heart-healthy diet that I talked about that my husband was on. And you can look these up for more detail, but I'll just summarize. 56% more weight was lost with isogenics, 47% more fat loss, and here's the kicker, twice as much visceral fat. That is, skinny people have visceral fat. That's why cleansing is so important for everyone. Twice as much of that was lost with the isogenics group. That's the fat around your organs that, you know, oftentimes you can't see if you are skinny. 35% greater reduction in oxidative stress, and that is so important. So again, this has been published in several medical journals, but there's a little synopsis of it. And they didn't stop with a 30-day trial. Skidmore decided to do a year-long study where everyone, all the participants, were on isogenics for 30 days. Then half of them moved to the heart-healthy diet with a dietitian, and they moved to their own maintenance. The isogenics group stayed on some product, you know, some maintenance plan, and they had 4 times more fat loss and 4 times increased muscle mass, 2 times the metabolism, and 3 times the toxins released than the other group who, you know, ate whole foods. So, you know, the science is there and it's evolving. There's constantly money being invested into research. So again, take some time and look up this study. Maintenance is a huge thing, and that is another thing that sets us apart, is that we have a maintenance plan. All right, I know not everyone likes science. I get excited about it, but not everyone does. So a couple more stories. This is the beautiful lady that I stalked on Facebook for almost a year, trying to find out what she was doing. Patty and Jim, together they lost 70 pounds, and that was 5 years ago. Patty had been dealing with inflammation in her lungs, and she felt tired, she felt old, and she felt spiritually barren. She views this as a gift from God that came just when she needed it. And after raising 5 kids, she's now nurturing again and keeping up with all her grandbabies too. And this is Elena. Elena had a complete lack of energy. She was exhausted. She put on some holiday pounds. I'm sure many can relate to that. And she wanted to get back into the right mindset. And she did. She lost 39 inches and 15 pounds. Again, she's kept it off for 2 years. She has loads of energy and uses a lot of the products to fuel her training and racing. She's so active and so inspiring. And there are so many products and solutions that we offer, close to 60, but I'm just going to talk about the 5 main ones. Many people start with a reset of some sort of a 30-day. It's the most bang for your buck usually. And these are the products that come in, most of them. The great pack comes with all of these products, and then there's a more basic pack that comes with 3 of them. So the Isoline Shake. This shake I love because it is so easy. It is, you add water, your breakfast is ready in 2 minutes. It's the perfect blend of protein, carbs, fats, and fiber. You don't even have to think. Great immunity benefits, and it's filling. My kids love this. I know Amy's kids love this too. We talked about US dairy a little bit, and this dairy is different. It's from cows from New Zealand. They're grass-fed. No pesticides on that grass. They're milked in season. They're happy cows. And as I said, they're 99% lactose free. They have probiotics in them and prebiotics. So as I said, a lot of people do okay with dairy who think they have a dairy issue, but oftentimes it's just American dairy. A lot of shakes out there, are not good for us. Some of them even have soy in them. A lot of people have gotten away from soy and turned to whey. But all whey is not equal either. Ours is undenatured whey. And basically, in a nutshell, what that means is there is no heat and no salt in the process. So it really retains the great qualities of a great superior protein shake. Great amino acid profile. Everything you need is in there. And then my other, I have a couple favorite products, but this one, oh my goodness. This has adaptogenic herbs in it. And another thing to Google when you have time, but they've been used for many, many, many years. And they are great for helping your body cope with stress and to give you energy. So I don't know if any of you have stress, but I ran out of this product once. I didn't even realize it. My luggage had been lost, and I went about 2 days, and I wondered why I felt so edgy, why I was tired, and I felt like I couldn't handle things as well. And then I realized it's because I had not had that product in 2 days. So athletes love this. It's great for recovery. It's great also for a pre-workout. Another product, Cleanse for Life. So this is a very flexible product. It can be used 3 different ways depending on how aggressively you want to reach some goals. But basically, this supports the body's natural detoxification systems. It's a cellular cleanse. So what it does is it helps those toxins that are deep within, when combined with intermittent fasting for a day or 2, no more than that ever. It allows those toxins to be released. And those toxins are usually fat soluble. It allows them to bind with the cleanse and become water soluble so that they can be passed through the urine. So it's pretty amazing, and it's actually pretty easy because you are flooding your body with nutrients on those days. You get to eat chocolates. And again, there's also daily cleansing. If a cleanse day is not for you, it's not a requirement. It's just really great. And then lastly, Ageless Essentials with Product B. These are the last 2 pillars. These are little daily packs of added assurance that you're getting the minerals and vitamins that you need. What I love about this is there's no bedpan bullets here. These are really bioavailable. Dr. Anderson did a demo on stage where he took 6 shot glasses of white vinegar, similar to the pH of our digestive system. And he dropped some pretty well-known vitamins in. And when he returned after his presentation, ours was the only one that had disintegrated. So, Dr. Anderson, he does it right. He worked for many companies, many manufacturers, and he left. because he did not want to compromise product for cost. So you get the real deal with him. He knows his stuff. And there are 5 different components to this. There's a multivitamin for men or women, omega, sea light, there's ageless actives. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is isogenesis, also called product B. This is a really groundbreaking product. It combats the aging process and combats the shortening of telomeres. Might not know what telomeres are, but simplified, as we age, our telomeres shorten. And as they shorten, that's when bad things happen. Product B is on the forefront of the whole anti-aging market. Everyone is doing research on telomeres, but this is the first of its kind. And the research is really promising. I can't wait to see as that comes out. So again, all of these vitamins, our shakes are complete, but we cannot get what we need from the food we eat. We're not able to absorb it without the minerals. So this helps us to better utilize the nutrients in our food. Many other different products. There's a skincare system, sleep support, brain support, wonderful organic alkaline coffee, and the kids' vitamins. I love those. So lots of different things out there. The fruits and greens are great, great way to get fruits and vegetables. I like to get those into my kids that way sometimes when we're rushing. So are you ready to take charge of your health? You probably are asking yourself some questions now. Is it expensive? Can I do this? And how do I go about getting started? Well, we have solutions for everyone. We have solutions to meet whatever your goals are and whatever your budget is. So, you have to decide, and we can help you figure out what could be best for you. But in the meantime, cost, that was a big thing. What do you currently spend on your groceries, your drinks, and your snacks in a month? And I ask you to take a minute and really think about this, because for me, I didn't get it at first. When Patty told me the initial price, I felt like it was a lot. I mean, I know what my monthly mortgage is. I know what my cell phone bill is, my electric, but I never thought about what our family spends on groceries and eating out. So, what do you eat for breakfast? Take a minute and think about it and how much that might cost. Maybe it's eggs and toast. Maybe it's cereal and milk. Maybe you make your own smoothie and you add several ingredients. Whatever that is, jot down what you think it could be. Okay, what about snacks throughout the day? Maybe you grab some chips or pretzels or an apple, whatever that is. Lunch, dinner, do you eat in all those meals, or do you go out a couple times a week? How about Starbucks? Do you ever stop by a Starbucks or fast food? Convenience stores, vending machines. I know I'm on the road a fair amount, as is my husband, and I carry a shake, but recently I forgot. And I walked into the convenience store and I was reminded what I used to spend on not so healthy food. I was easily spending $5 or $6 and I wasn't even getting a meal. It was junk. My husband, he used to get a grilled chicken salad on the go when he was on his heart healthy diet. And he was easily spending $12 on a meal. So this has just saved us a ton of money in retrospect, but we just don't think about how we're spending our money when we buy it in bulk like that. So I just worked out a little scenario here of someone. Honestly, I think I probably figured on the low end for most things. But I think that's gives you an idea of where some people are. I don't know where you are. But hopefully, you're getting a picture of how you can be taking a portion of what you are spending and just trading it up for some better nutrition. So now that you have a little picture of what your current spending is, I just threw some examples up of how a lot of people start, although you can start many different ways. The top choice on the page there is, the Mac Daddy. It's like everything you could possibly need, 80 meals for the whole month for $20 a day. It has all the pillars in it. I even throw in a little blender, a little portable blender. But if your budget is less, the next pack down is great too, and that's 68 meals for the month. And again, I threw up the weight loss pack because a lot of people come to this wanting to reset, whether it's for weight loss or for energy. So they're giving you a lot of your meals up front. So, we have $20 a day pack, we have the $12 a day pack. And some people, once their goals are met, they stick to like a shake and ionics a day, and that's like $5 a day. So whatever your goals are, it depends how badly you want to reach them and how fast, and we can help you. There's also a 30-day money-back guarantee. Quite honestly, this is what made me try it. If you don't like it, you get your money back. We already talked about you're just reallocating a portion of what you're spending and buying it in your own online store. And the other thing is, you can invite 2 friends to do it with you for half off, or 3 friends and it's free. And if you don't want to do that at the beginning, at the end, if you're really liking this and then you decide you'd like to share, we're here to help you do that too. So just a little bit about the company as we wrap up here. They have superior products and they have a mission to change the world. They have an unrivaled compensation plan. I mean, I just have been learning the last year how it compares, and it is pretty phenomenal. Just really great people with great hearts, and a lot of knowledge. So the company has been growing because people need these solutions. We continue to grow domestically and internationally. 80% of the people are just product users. So don't feel that you have to do anything with the sharing part. You don't. 80% of the people are just thrilled to buy their groceries from their own online store. But some want to get their products paid for. And, some want to earn a passive residual income. And, then others take it even further. And we do have 160 millionaires already. But again, it's up to you. So this is the mission statement that I thought I'd end with. It just says so much about them as a company. Impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain, and in the process, create the largest health and wellness company in the world. And on that note, this is our last slide. So again, I just want to thank you so much for checking this out. I hope we've answered some of your questions and maybe provided, some hope for some of you. If any part of this resonated with you, I just ask that you reach out to the person who invited you and get the rest of your questions answered. There is a free shipping deal that is going on through the 17th. So if that might help to defray the cost. And if you just want to learn a little bit more, you can ask to be plugged into our Facebook group, and you can just kind of watch from the sidelines and see what this is all about. So again, thanks a lot and have a great night.